All right, we are underway. Just going to get my live pinned up in a couple places here to make sure that it is working correctly. Get my chat up and so on. So hope y'all are having a wonderful day. All right, should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this. I had a lot of fun last week doing the live streams of the hill climb stuff. No idea if it's going to be insane. I'm going to make myself look like a fool. But we're going to try it regardless. Just gotta make sure again I post this in as many places as I can, just because I can. Love when people come out and watch this stuff. A couple more places to post this, so I apologize. Appreciate you being patient with me. Self-promotion, yes. If I could type correctly, my fat fingers are doing a good job of preventing that at the moment. So anyways, while I'm finishing this up real quickly, I saw that demo drive was up and asked a question in my Discord about what kind of cars I should drive since I did so much testing last time demo drive was up several days ago. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Have some ideas. I made a list of stuff I want to drive. If you have any suggestions of difficult cars or stuff that doesn't normally get driven that you'd like to see, let me know, and we'll try to give it a whirl if I can. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it's entertaining. We'll start out with some stuff that's not terribly difficult, just stuff that I want to do some driving in because it's either been a while or whatever. So we're going to start out with the SK Modified. We are going to go to one of my favorite asphalt short tracks, USA Speedway. Asphalt, please. So yeah, this is obviously not a difficult car track combo, and neither is the second one that we're going to do, but just to get back warmed up, get things rocking, see if I remember how to drive, we are going to give the SK a whirl for a little while, see if I remember what I'm doing, probably not, and then we'll jump into some more difficult stuff. I'm not going to say it will like progressively get harder or anything, but we'll try to make it interesting at least. So I should say also not all these are outright difficult. Some of them are just quirky and strange. So we'll get to that though. We're going to start out running SK at USA just for a little while. I don't know how long we're going to spend on everything. I guess it depends how much fun I'm having, if I'm learning, whatever. Again, big thanks to Carl. Make sure you check him out. Carl Sampson. He does great rallycross guides and other stuff. He's self-proclaimed world's most boring sim racer, but he's a wonderful guy, great driver. He suggested I do this and drive some really difficult stuff. So 130-degree track temp. Holy yikes. I have no idea. This is the fixed set, obviously. I have no idea what you want in the fixed set for the mod. I basically never drive it, even though I do enjoy it. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I expect to die, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into here. It's been literally years since I've driven the mod in either form. I used to really like it, actually. Very fun car, but not something that you see too terribly often on my channel. But I figured, hey, this could be a fun car. D-Class, oh, it already feels very slippery. Maybe that's just how it is. I expected the Tour mod to be very slippery. I expected the SK mod to kind of be pretty much hooked up, so. Yeah, it feels very slippery on corner entry there. Not sure if that is, again, a tire temp thing or me just being awful. The reason I would consider driving this, if it doesn't handle like this is quite scary actually. The reason I consider driving this is because obviously I prefer stuff where tire wear matters. It doesn't sound like the tire wear matters in SK that much at all, but being a no caution D-Class series, you know, it's going to matter more than Tour mods if they just go off into turn 1 and wreck 25 times in a row and boom, you're on to the last 5 laps. So, oh man, it is so slippery. Again, maybe I'm just bad. I haven't really run any laps on the sim today, but maybe I'm just awful. Sure, I'm very slow. Of course, I gotta remember it is a 130-degree track tip as well. That won't be helping anything at all. We'll just run a couple more here. I feel like I got my my bearings underneath of me, and then we'll move on to our second car. I don't know. It's interesting because I'd like to test this more on a cooler track temp, or maybe at like a different track that I know a little bit better or something, just to see what that's like and what it feels like. Not sure if this is the kind of thing that the channel would like. I don't know if mods are very popular. I don't really know of anybody, or at least I don't really follow anybody that drives the mods. Obviously someone does. They seem to be semi-popular, at least on the sim. But I don't really know who drives them regularly, to be fair. I know some people I don't like very much that drive them regularly. But I don't know anybody that like their main car is either of the mods, so not sure how that works out, whatever. But yeah, that was fun, whatever. Good to get warmed up. Let's go drive the LMP3 car again. I forgot what it's called, though. Ligier, there we go. And we're going to go to Navara, and the reason for this is that my main gripe when I tested this car last week, although it seemed decently fun, not going to lie, it seemed pretty fun, the visibility, which I knew going into it, is just awful. What is Navara called? Is it called Circuit something? Of course it is. Speed Circuit, that's fine. I really liked this car, actually. It seemed like it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The problem being, when you go into it and you can't freaking see anything, it's like, how are you supposed to drive this, especially the track this dangerous and this scary? So we will just go right ahead and jump into Navara. Obviously, the first couple corners with the triple or quadruple apex or whatever, and then the very tight turn, again, 3, 4, 5, whatever number that is going to be the telltale of how bad the visibility in this. But I also know this track pretty well. Love this track. I absolutely adore Navara. It's so much fun. So this will be a good test of how I feel about it. I can't remember where I drove it. I think I drove it at Road America last time Demo Drive was up, which I did not do a stream for just because I was running some laps quick after I got home from work before I had other stuff to do. But good car. I liked it. Again, the visibility was the main turnoff about it. Again, I have no idea what it'd be like in an official race, of course, but it seems like the kind of car that could be very popular. God, there are so many off tracks. Look at that. Like every corner has an off track marker. 117 degrees. I don't know what kind of setup we want. I don't know. We'll just run low downforce because I was going to run medium downforce, but there is no medium downforce because of course there isn't. So we'll just run low downforce, which is probably a disaster around here, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to know basically immediately what it's like in the sharp right-hand corners because it throws you right into it. So, all right, we'll see how this goes. That was about 200 miles an hour too fast, and look at that, you're totally blind. All right, other than flying off track, obviously that was not what I was trying to do, but totally blind as to where the turn-in point is there. So again, I have about 10 laps total in this car, all at Road America, I believe is where I took it. So still learning it. Hopefully as we get to the harder cars, you'll get to have a good cheap laugh at me trying to figure all this out on the fly. Look at that, totally blind. I assume the corner's somewhere over there, but not sure where. Actually ran a little bit too deep, cold tires it must be, and I'm just bad. Left-handers are just fine. Actually, I kind of wish the wiper wasn't in the way, but left-handers are perfectly fine. Doesn't feel like it's a bad car. It definitely understeers. I'm expecting the nose to cut like a prototype. And I have to remind myself that this is not like a high downforce LMDH car, LMP1 car, even an LMP2 car that has a lot of downforce and aero grip. This car has like no grip though. Like that doesn't seem quite right. Maybe it's this low downforce set that's really killing me. Maybe I need high downforce, but nonetheless. Alright, so that time I brake super early knowing that I can't see where the hell the corner is. Love this track so much. Yeah, there's just not a lot of grip. Oh man, there's just no grip. I feel like I'm crawling on corner entry. We're doing like 60. A lot of tight right hand, basically hairpins here. They're totally blind, completely blind. It's a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Like I like the car. A little bit of rear wheel hop there, but you just cannot see anything. I know a lot of people adjust their seating position to look out the right side, or sit in the center, excuse me, and then look that way. But, you know, one of those people. Hey Peter, how you doing? I've tried the LMP3 a lot during test drive, but can't get over the right side view being blocked. That's pretty much how I feel right now. I mean, it seems like a fun car, an entry-level prototype, not quite the same extent that like the Radical is or anything like that, or the Spec Racer Ford, but you know, the joke and the meme with this car is that it's only driven by rich dentists who get the seats in Michelin Pilot Challenge or whatever the other series is that uses it. It's not Michelin Pilot Challenge, that's TCR and Grand Sport GT4s. What is the series? It's the VP Oil whatever series with this and GT4s, I believe, which not a whole lot of people know about, but is actually a really good series to watch at Road America. There's just no grip. I'm going to go put on the high downforce because maybe that's part of my problem. Kimmy didn't get the drink. You will not get the view. That's funny. All right, let's try high downforce to see if I'm just an absolute idiot. I'd really like for there to be a medium downforce. I'm not really sure why there isn't, to be honest with you. I can't think of a good reason why there's no medium downforce. I don't know if I assume the fixed series uses some kind of fixed set. Obviously there's a Ringmeister set, but I can't think of why there's not a default medium downforce set. Yeah, Falcon Sports Car Challenge. Yeah, that's the iRacing series. Sorry, Peter, I didn't specify. In real life, it's the VP Racing Fuel, whatever it is, that has this in GT4s, I believe, and then the other series that I mentioned that I'm already forgetting is the one with GT4s and TCRs. But anyways, it's commonly known that like dentists drive this car, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Pay drivers are a part of racing. They have been for a long time, and it's not going away anytime soon. As unfortunate as it is, because you get people like Lance Stroll. Honestly, Lance Stroll isn't even that bad. The only knock against Lance Stroll is that compared to someone like Fernando Alonso, that car could be running a lot better, and his dad bought the whole damn team. Like, I don't even think Lance Stroll is that bad. He's just the perfect example, because not only did his dad buy him a seat, he bought the whole freaking like team, and is a manufacturer team now, factory team, so whatever. Anyways, I digress. Seems like a fun car, actually. I really like the car. I'm not going to move the seating view because that would mess me up then with the steering wheel. But it does seem like the kind of car where if you're going to take it seriously and find performance, if you're on a single monitor like I am, you have to move your seat because you can't possibly see where you're going. The high downforce set is quite a bit better. Oh, turned in a little bit too shallow there because I couldn't see the freaking apex. But it does seem like the car is very good and responds quite well, as you'd expect, but it's just, you're blind. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. There you go. You have to almost turn in early to be able to see the apex, then turn back out of it to make sure you can take a semi-normal racing line. It's quite difficult to be able to put your car where you want to. Lap times, I guess, are going to be 140-ish on the flying lap. I guess we'll see this time what it is for time, but no idea where our turn-in point is, so we'll just guess. Close enough. Yeah, so I mentioned last time I drove this, I can't remember where I drove it or if I mentioned it in a different video. Daniel Costa drives this quite a bit. He's very, very talented, very good at this car. Belsky drove this for the, whatever, the Roar, I think it was. It must have been the Roar, because the Daytona 24 doesn't use this, obviously. And had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch those guys drive it, which is why I got semi-interested in it. And I knew that the visibility was a thing. Yeah, shut up, off track. I knew the visibility was a thing and was an issue, but I didn't know to what extent, having never driven it. And it's quite evident now that you cannot drive this car normally and have any consistent performance by not seeing where the whole right side of the car is. I mean, you can hardly see like where your right front wheel is going to be, much less like out to your right type of thing. So, interesting car. It's a very fun car to drive. I really actually like it, and I feel good about driving it, but when it comes to having to race it with visibility, oh gosh, again there, especially with multi-class and having to cut through traffic and stuff, that would get really frustrating very, very quickly to me, at least, so. Alright, that was quite fun. Did like the car. It's nice not having anybody around me, so if you mess up, no one's going to care. We are going to be right about that 1 minute 40 mark, like I said, so 1:39.9, that's a pretty good prediction, so I'm pretty happy with that. Race GT4 and that, lots of fun. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, and I think that this would be a really fun car. It's just, it's an interesting car. Let's say that. It is an interesting car, so. The first request that was brought up to me to drive, maybe this is my own request actually, was the SRX car, because I tried this briefly before at USA, I believe. Oh, come on, I hate when it does that. Tried this at USA briefly, and I went in expecting it to drive like an 87's car, just kind of very understeery, very kind of soft feeling. And honestly, it didn't feel very much like that at all. It felt like it was very heavy. I don't know how heavy it is. I really have no idea, but it felt like it was very, very heavy. So not sure again if that was a handling quirk or what it was, but you know, we'll see how I feel at South Boston. That's the other short track I know pretty well. Hopefully I'll get a better feel for it. Again, it's not the 87's car, so do not get that confused, but kind of feels like it at times. I don't really know how to approach this because in my mind, like this is a car where you really want to be off throttle, rolling the bottom, really patient and careful. You know, you want to take your time, be really slow, and be precise, but I don't know if that's actually how you drive it. I have no idea what the setup parameters allow. We'll just click it down one click of brake bias. Will would know better than I do. I know it's fixed up, obviously, in the iRacing official series, but I don't know what you can change as far as what's available, so we'll just roll out with this. Oh, yeah. Understeers quite a lot, even for a car that's, again, basically a short track car. I don't know how much power it has, but it is a lot, and it is something you have to slow down more than you think, and you can definitely break the rear tires loose like that. This is a car you have to be very slow and very patient at. These were at Rockingham a couple weeks ago. I watched some videos of that, and it looked quite interesting because there you have to, again, basically drive it like an 87's, but even more carefully. I'm not sure I'd be very good in this, to be honest with you, because although I'm pretty good at going slow, and I'm pretty good at tire saving, I'm sure I'd beat myself with my right foot off the corner a lot of times, just not being patient enough getting back on throttle, which is a problem, and it definitely is going to be a car that, like so many others, I would burn the right front off and absolutely kill the poor things. So it's not bad. I don't hate it. Now that I've run a couple laps, it feels pretty intuitive. It feels pretty much like you'd expect it to feel. I wish Will could give me his feedback on this, but it's definitely the kind of thing that you drive and you just feel like you're having to wait so long. I think that would make it very difficult to make passes in. I think that being behind someone would get very frustrating. You get very impatient trying to wait for either a mistake or them to run out of tires to build a run, whatever. But I think that the races for this are all pretty short. I think Richmond was like 40 laps. I don't know what Rockingham was off the top of my head. I don't recall. But it's probably not a long enough race to like wait someone out for tire wear unless they're driving it completely wrong and have no front tire left. Because as a short track car, it's kind of sort of designed to do this. It's kind of sort of designed to run pretty hard for, you know, a short amount of time. I mean, you see there, now that I've finally figured out what the heck I'm doing, I'm only down like a tenth, even though I'm driving absolutely awfully. It seems pretty fun, like I'm not gonna lie, it seems decently fun. I'm sure I'd be, again, awful at this if I tried to do 40 or 50 laps in a official race. I'm sure I would be absolutely terrible, but I feel like I need more rear brake or something. Again, I don't want to move too far away from stock. I just went down one click because I don't know what's realistic, and I don't want to give myself a false opinion of what's realistic and doable in a official fixed series, but feels pretty content. Go back out, get some new tires, go a couple clicks down on the brake bias, and see if we can run a faster lap. Yeah, cool. My car is plain gray. That's an interesting color choice. Let's go down to like 52.9 and see if I can go out and basically do a quali run. See what that feels like trying to push hard. I assume that first lap would be fast lap. So I found, I don't know, 2/10 there? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the SRX car. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It feels predictable. You just gotta wrap your mind around going slow. I should have checked my tires after we did that first 10 laps or whatever, but a couple tenths faster, obviously not lifting before start finish on a flyer lap, but it's, high fours, low to mid five, high fives, sixes. I mean, it feels pretty intuitive, actually. It's not totally crazy and out to left field, so I'm pleasantly surprised by that. Let's consider it plausible. All right, next up we are going to go to the Porsche Mission R per popular request from Mr. Sampson. Where's the Porsche Mission R? I have never driven this car. I don't know anything about this car other than that it's an electric piece of garbage because we don't need electric race cars. That kind of defeats the point of a race car. Oh, is this called something else? Osterschleben? It is, isn't it? Dang, I hate all these like tracks that are called something else. Like it drives me nuts. I don't remember what Osterschleben's called. It's Motor Center, isn't it, with an M? There we go. Grand Prix, I guess, whatever. So let's see how this goes. Not sure what to expect. Not shifting is going to be very strange because the only cars I think I've driven that I don't shift at all are like the dirt cars, and I mean they used to have multiple gears. I don't know really anything about this car in real life or in the sim for that matter, but hopefully it's cool. Hopefully it's fun. I'm sure it won't be. I'm sure I'm gonna absolutely hate it, but we'll see. I think this is probably one of the least popular cars on iRacing, if I had to guess. Trying to think of what else might be less popular than this, and I can't really think of anything. Yeah, I don't really know of stuff that I'm sure there are SOF splits for this, but I don't know. This is going to be a good laugh because oh I see, because you have different battery settings, of course. So we'll go baseline, power mode. I guess you just have race and Q, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, no idea how this is going to go. I'm sure this is going to be just the biggest joke of all time. But there's no noise. Oh, that's so weird. Oh, that's so weird. This would be really hard for me to drive in an official race because the sound, you have no reference based on the sound of like how fast you're going. Oh, shut up. Oh, this is so weird. This is so peculiar. It actually seems to have a decent amount of grip. I assume it's going to brake very slowly and be very heavy to steer. And obviously, like an LMP1 car, I assume you're going to want to basically recharge the battery under braking so you can have max power. I have no idea how any of the battery pack for this work or anything like that. Ooh, yeah, turning is difficult. Okay. It's all very interesting. Really like Osterschleben, but this is not a car I ever thought I'd drive around here for sure. Predictably, as soon as you get on throttle, the understeer is crazy. I assume that Q trim mode in this is very, very awesome and wild and very fast. Hey Casey, did they finally kill off the Formula 3.5? I have no idea. There's a huge SOF on Sundays of this. Oh yeah, it is all-wheel drive. It's a good point. I have no idea if they killed off the Formula Renault. Don't really know anything about those cars either, other than that they were pretty celebrated when they came out as kind of a step on the Formula ladder, and they replaced them pretty quickly. This car is wild, man. What is this? Obviously it flies down the straights. No idea how any of the battery stuff works again, not a clue. It's not that fast. Maybe it's just me, or it's the setup or whatever I'm in here, but 150 doesn't seem like it's wildly fast considering you have like full instant torque. It's obviously because it's four-wheel drive and very heavy. Thank you, Casey, for pointing out. I forgot about that. Off throttle, it's going to steer a lot better. It has a lot on throttle understeer. And it's so weird not shifting or not having the engine RPM like sound to tell you how fast you're going. Like, it's very misleading. It's so strange. It's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's It's a very different thing. It almost feels like I'm racing in the future. Like this is Formula One in 30 years when they're not allowed to use fossil fuels anymore. It's very strange. Please turn. Thank you. It's very strange. Used to broadcast. Q mode is nuts. Alright, I'll try Q mode in a little bit. We tested the Nissan GTP yet. I have not, but I would love to test it again. I tested it last demo drive, I should say. I ran a handful of laps around Road America, but if you have a track suggestion, I'll test that as soon as I'm done with this. We'll do Nissan GTP next. It was a fun car. Semi-difficult to drive. I am butchering this. But yeah, shoot me a suggestion of a track and we'll take the Nissan there next. Alright, we'll do one more lap of this and then we'll do a Q lap and see how bonkers that is. Yeah, it's actually semi-intuitive. Like, it doesn't feel like an alien spaceship that makes no sense and has no correlation. Like, it, in spite of it being weird, I don't like it, obviously, because of principle. But it does race car things. Like, it doesn't drive like a pig. Honest to God, it drives better than a lot of cars iRacing has, I'm not going to lie. Like, some of them just drive so badly. But this actually drives semi-normally, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of refreshing. It's very strange, it's very peculiar, and it would take me a lot of laps at a lot of tracks to get used to it. But not having to shift obviously frees up your hands, and your feet are just the only things that you gotta worry about, of course. Like on dirt, but unlike dirt, I actually know what I'm doing on a road course. This is actually not the worst thing I've ever driven. It's surprisingly straightforward. Like, I'm shocked how normal it feels, in spite of everything else. So yeah, 140 at the end of the backstretch isn't crazy, and that was actually too deep to brake. But we'll finish up this lap, and then we'll go run a Q lap and see how that feels. I'm sure that's going to be bonkers, like Casey said, just because I'm sure all the battery pack being used in one lap is just nuts. Yeah, it doesn't really stop. It kind of stops similar to the 87 on road courses, if there is a comparison to make. Road America 500 this weekend. My best lap is 145.2 with GTP, but I practice a lot. 3.5 is probably dead, yeah. I'll take it back to Road America. Sure, I will run a couple laps of that in a minute. Obviously, I'm just running on baseline set and don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I'm willing to give it a shot and see what we can do for reference. Let's try a Q lap of this. No idea what track temp is. Not that we really care too much, but we'll try it. All right, let's see how ridiculous Q trim is here. I have no idea. Casey, do I have to like save the battery pack on my out lap here to make sure I have enough? No? Okay, whatever. I don't know. It's fine. Almost certainly going to pick up another slow down cut track penalty here on pit exit. We'll try to avoid that. We did. Oh man, it really goes in Q trim. I don't know what I was expecting, but it flies in Q trim. Oh yeah, it's quite fast in Q trim. Please stop. Thank you. Oh man. It's almost an entirely different car. It feels like what I expect it to feel like, which is just like all the power from the electric battery, like immediately, and very, very punishing to you. You just go. You say go, and it asks how fast. Still very peculiar. Oh man, when you hit the throttle, it just goes, and it goes straight. There's not a lot of control under throttle, to the surprise of zero people, but let's see if we can get up here down the backstretch. So 141 was what we were at in race trim. And this is just insane. Insanity, insane. I'm putting words together because it goes faster than I can think. Obviously, instant torque of electric is cool. And it makes perfect sense for street cars and around the city and stuff. I fully get that, but I didn't buy it as a race car. Even Formula E is still a stretch for me. Alright, so we ran like 128.9 as a non-perfect lap in race trim. Let's see what we can do here in Q trim, if you want to call it that. Q battery. Q boost juice. It's obviously much faster. Way, way faster. And it won't stop. Actually, that was pretty good with turn one, not gonna lie. I'm glad we're not taking the alternative layout there through the first chicane. You know, the internet famous, the guy who designed that first corner should be taken into a dark room and beaten about the head. I'm glad we don't have that chicane. I think that chicane might be coming up in... Can't remember if it's PCC that was voted in or selected for the free track or not, but I remember seeing it somewhere. Maybe it's Global Challenge this season, but glad we don't have that here for sure. This car is nuts. Like, I actually don't hate it. I'm sure I'm using way too much steering angle and just roasting the front tires, but somehow that was not a slowdown. If that was an official race for me, it would have been a slowdown. Look at it just go. It's absurd. Please stop, please stop, please stop. We're going over here. It's fine. We're going over here again. We still might beat the other lap I ran in race trim, despite all of this, just because it's so fast. Alright, it does slightly less race car things like this, but whatever, it's fine. We are going to still beat the lap, though, it looks like. By quite a healthy margin as well, by a second and a half. That's insane. That is just wild. Brazilian stock car. Now that's something that sounds just bonkers. I don't understand that car at all, really, but this is actually fun. I would test this again. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to race it, but I would run more laps in that. I'm pleasantly surprised by that car. Very, very pleasantly surprised. I just noticed that as well. What is the thing next to the steering wheel? I assume it's... I don't think it's slip because it was turning on when I was on throttle. It was increasing. Not sure what it was. Maybe it was, I don't know, traction. I have no idea, but it didn't seem to be slip because it seemed to be opposite of what slip would feel like. All right, we'll test the Nissan at Road America, since that is the Road America 500 coming up this weekend. Obviously my home track, so I should know how to get around. I hate when it does that. Home track should know how to get around here. We went past it, I believe. There we go. What did you say you were doing? 145.2. No idea if we're going to be able to get that. All-wheel drive traction indicator. Okay, so it is traction. So are the bars on the left and right side left rear and right rear, or how does that work? Or yeah, I assume you know because you're smart at everything, Casey. But it's very strange. It's a peculiar way of showing traction, I guess, in that regard. It's very strange. All right. I assume we're going to want low downforce here, just for the sake of the straightaway speed, which is fine by me, even though I'm going to be bad. 145.2 is not going to happen. I am 100% true of that. Left and right side. So is it all four? Is it like left front and left rear traction? That's really, really strange. Obviously, there aren't a whole lot of four-wheel drive cars on iRacing, but very strange. All right, 145.2. It's German. Oh, race pace is 147, 148. All right, well, we're just running low downforce, full fuel. And again, I'm very limited seat time in this car, but if we can get sub 150, I'd be pretty happy with that. I have no idea. It is quite a departure from from the Porsche Mission R, that's for sure. Do quite like the car. It sounds very good. Obviously, the turbo spool is amazing. No idea where to brake down here. We'll just brake it like 400 this first time, see what that's like. Way too early, but actually probably not that far off. Could probably brake at 300. Obviously, you gotta keep this car in the power band. Probably didn't need to shift up to third there. There we go. Didn't quite get that second shift correctly, but it worked out enough. Again, keeping the thing spooled is going to be everything, as I just completely missed my slowdown point there. And a little bit wide in the carousel. I've mentioned this in other videos. After my first track day here with Bluey last October, the kink is not the scariest part. Like, maybe it's because I wasn't going that fast. I mean, at my fastest point with my 335 measly horsepower, I was up to about 126 down the front stretch. The scary part is braking for turn 5 because you're going so fast. It's downhill. It's very, very terrifying to have to brake on V6 brakes in the Camaro from 125 to like 40. Very scary. And my instructor kept saying, come on, brake later, you can do it. I'm like, this is not the SS or the 1LE or the ZL1 or something along those lines. Like, it's not going to stop, and we are going to die. And this is my first track day. I'd rather not kill us both. So, but anyways, we'll see what we can do here for some lap times. I really like the car. I do. It's just that the series is so dead. It is a lot of fun, though, to drive around here. While I'm thinking of it, I hope you all are enjoying it. Make sure you drop a like down below and sub if you would like, so you don't miss any of the other content I have going on. Lots of great stuff coming up. There we go. There's a gear in there somewhere. But I appreciate all love and support. It's been amazing, so thank you all so much for that. I think I just need first here for turn 5. I feel a lot like in that Camaro with the instructor. I felt like I went to third again there, damn it. I feel a lot like I'm just being a chicken around here, probably because I basically am, but... no matter. This is quite a fun car. Like, if this series was more popular or had, you know, even a handful of splits a week that would go official regularly, I'd be in 100% because the car is a lot of fun, but only having basically the broadcast races and the community SOF races that go official for sure, that's hard, especially when, you know, I'm a relatively busy guy, obviously not the most busiest person ever, but that's hard to have such limited options to make. So that's really unfortunate. I'd love to get more of this going and get involved because this car is awesome. I like the Audi as well, but that car is very difficult to drive. What'd you say you were doing? 147, 148? Obviously that's on a set, I assume, but goodness gracious. Much faster than I can manage, obviously. Times vary a lot. Yes, they do. You can get away with higher gear in some corners. Turn 1, you can keep it in 4th. Alright, we'll try that. Thanks, Casey. I tricked myself into being like, oh yeah, slow down more. Weird oval cars that rip on road courses. The Silver Crown. Silver Crown is on the list. We'll get to that. Would have killed myself on the first first try. I miss the Pro Mazda. Pro Mazda is one of those cars that, like, I bought the Pro Mazda and then they killed it off, and I'm like, damn, I missed that car. I drove it during week 13 this last season. It was in that, what was it, Battle of the Little Wings, and I drove it here and loved it. And I'm like, man, I wish that car would come back because it's just such a beautiful car. It works so well. It drives like a normal Formula car. It's not just glued to the ground like some of them are. Like, I miss that car. So I was glad to get to drive it in that race. I would love to have it'll always be Star Mazda to me. I'm of that era. I'm not old enough for that era, but I joined iRacing when it was Star Mazda. I think it might have been still Star Mazda in real life at that point as well. So when they renamed it Pro Mazda, it'll always be Star Mazda to me, which, again, whatever it is, but love the car. Alright, we'll do one more lap here. I need to do better than 155. That's a little bit embarrassing. I know we're on a fixed set, but still. Gotta go a little faster than that. Alright, I gotta focus up. I gotta stop trying to read chat, and I gotta see if I can actually do something right for a change instead of being a complete yabo. Not listen to Casey for turn 1. Surely I can go a little faster than I just did, right? Like 155 is awful. In my opinion, maybe it's not with the fixed set and like full fuel and everything, but we'll see what I can get out of it here. I'll give it my best shot. Alright, hold your breath, be brave. Yeah, I feel like I need third there. I don't know, maybe I don't. I know it's slippery surface, it's just me and I was the one that ran off. Alright, be brave, Justin. 300 meters, let's go. There it is. Just about got it stopped. A little bit of micro locking on the fronts, but we got away with it. Leave it in second. Brake as late as I dare. Again, micro locking, but we got away with it. Short shift up to third before the kink. Into hurry downs. 2 downshifts. carousel under Speedville Bridge. Run kind of in the middle because I missed my turn in, so we're just going to say I was trying to do that. Cut back to the curb so we can straighten out the run under the Mission Bridge for the kink. Turned in a little bit too early there, but we got away with it. Somehow wasn't a 1X. Run down the Canada corner, break about 400. Again, micro lock the front, but again we got away with it. A little bit of oversteer on throttle. Such a fun car, even though I'm terrible. Down second for the last corner. This is a very fun corner in real life. Can't attest to that. A little bit of a four-wheel slide off of there. Hopefully that'll be a little faster. It's not good, but missed a gear that I probably didn't need to go for anyways. We found about a second. 154, I don't think that's too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. Wait, what did you do? You suggested fourth. Oh, thanks, Tova. I appreciate it. It's good to see you back. I watched that video you did the other day of, what was it, Porsche Cup? No, it was GT3. That was a great video. What's next? Let's go do some Lotus 49 because Carl requested that one also. Yes, you are the blame for everything. Star Mazda's at SEC events. Oh, maybe it was fourth. Okay, I apologize then. Yeah, it is the setup for sure, but again, we're just having fun. Let's go find Lotus 49 if I can click on the damn thing. It'll be a death of me. All right, let's try Lotus 49. Let's go back to Road America since I'm semi worked up. We're fake, oh geez. Anyways, Casey, what you were saying, I think there are a couple Star Mazdas that race in the historic class at Road America for Brian Redmond WeatherTech Challenge weekend. I'm not certain of that, but it might also be the SCCA sprints. I don't know. I don't get there for SCCA often enough because it's usually really cold. But I recall there being a handful of Star Mazda Pro Mazdas from 15, 20 years ago or so there during WeatherTech weekend. So I will take pictures this year if I go. I mean, I'm going. I'm 100% going, even if I'm sick and on my deathbed. I'm going to Road America for WeatherTech weekend because it's the best weekend of the year. But I will see if there are Star Mazdas there, and I will find them for you. Configure controls. Why? Do I have separate controls for this car? I don't understand. No. Yes. Do I need custom controls for this? I don't know why I would. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably I need auto blip. That's probably what it is. Whatever, I don't care. All right, we'll see. Making a trip to Road America Super Tour if you're up there. When is that? Because yes, I am an hour north of Road America and I will be there. When is Super Tour? How many gears does this have? 5? All right. This is probably going to kill me. I did a video a while ago now, a couple months maybe, at the Nürburgring, try to get around. It doesn't turn like a GTP car, funnily enough. Funny how that works. Drives quite differently. This is all Carl's fault. We'll blame this one on Mr. Sampson for whatever this is. Again, difficult car, especially to go fast. I'm not going to have any good pace in this. I guess shift points about 9,000. Okay, so we got brake sooner than 5,000 for sure. June 9th weekend. I may have that on my calendar, actually. I have a lot of Road America dates on my calendar. I'm not sure any of them are that, though. Send me a Discord PM with the deets, if you don't mind, and I will look into it. I'm absolutely down to go. I love going to the racetrack anytime I get a chance. And I will be around that weekend. Oh, please stop, car. How did I ever make it around the Nürburgring in one try on this? I think my problem here is I'm like too confident with my track knowledge, and so I'm just shooting myself in the foot because this car is obviously a very quirkily handling car, and will reach out and grab you like the Steve Miller Band. Oh, please turn. Please don't die in the kink. Please don't pull a Luan Zekalari. I assume that was your message, Casey, so thank you. I will look into that. Yeah, so brakes aren't really a thing. Obviously, tire grip is not really a thing. There's no aero on this car, of course, being like a mid to late 60s Formula 1 car. Fun to drive, though. I do enjoy driving it because, again, it has some of that slide and slip angle. I'm sure that guys that are fast at this are going to be 10 or 15 seconds faster, and it's probably very exciting to drive this. But I do not have that skill. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Casey. I'll look into it. Alright, I have no idea where to brake, so we're just going to go with early. It still was just barely early enough, so that's encouraging. Like, the handling is what it is. I get there's no aero. We're on groove tires from 60 years ago. The brakes are shocking. I don't know if these are drum brakes or if they're disc brakes. I really don't know, and I can't tell based on the profile because I don't know what I'm looking for. But the brakes are shocking. From 175 to get down to like 50 for turn 5 here. That was actually too early. But the brakes are just shocking. Please stop. Please turn. I also need to remember that when I'm done with all this live streaming of all these fun, difficult cars, I still need to try to get a PCC race in. Undecided what car yet, but we'll see if that happens tonight or not. There we go. I also have to get up pretty early. I'm giving a speech to a local school, the school I went to when I was in elementary school, giving a speech about cystic fibrosis and what that means. So that'll be pretty cool. I got a couple of good CF speeches coming up the next couple of weeks, and I'm very excited about, although quite scared, of course. It's always a pressure situation having to talk in front of kids, because how the heck do you keep kids entertained for that long? Anyways, back to the task at hand. This has been a terrible lap. We'll just do one more here, and we'll move on to something else. Try first. I don't know if we've tried first through 12 yet. There we go. Please stop, please turn, maybe. Just a suggestion in this car, really. The steering wheel doesn't really do anything, I've realized that too. It's your feet do all the driving, which is kind of good and probably realistic, but you turn it with the rear, with your brakes, with your left foot, and you understeer it to keep you from dying with your right foot. This is a fun car. I can see why the people that really like this love this. Fully understand. Alright, I do know what I want to drive next. I think we're going to drive the W13 next, because I've never driven that car. I've driven the W12 and love it because it is quite a crazy car. I bought the W12 right when it was released because I knew it was going to be like the peak of what an iRacing open wheel car could be, obviously. Top level F1 car, the best F1 car, arguably the fastest F1 car ever. So I bought that, had a lot of fun with it because it's just a grip machine. I have heard from people that are in the know that the W13 is much more difficult, much more twitchy. But we'll take a stab at that. We'll go to a big F1 track like Spa. See if I can figure out how to drive that. So this car is quite fun though. It's very difficult and it's very patience needed. I'm trying to think. The classic Lotus Grand Prix series, whatever that they are doing, that's the 79, right? That's not this car. That's the 79 that it uses. I know Will ran a couple of those, and Carl as well, and Nick Neven and some of those people. But I don't remember what car they uses. I think it's the 79. Understeer City. Wonder if I've just flashed the front tires or something by being awful. Not out of the realm of possibilities. Off the final corner, turn 14. Go back up the hill. Now we'll catch up on chat. 2 minutes 11 flat. Not a bad lap. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll sign your headlight. That's funny. Early disc brakes, but still dog shit. Yeah, I mean, they're not the worst brakes ever, honestly. But it's a car. 4 iRacing Grand Prix Legends is my favorite sim. Such a fun car, even though I can't say I'm that fast in it. See, Peter, I know you're older than I am, but you just dated yourself by saying that you played GPL, because GPL was what, 1994 that Papyrus came out with that, if I remember correctly? And I was born in 97, so that's all you need to know. Drive it like a kart. See, Casey, I've never driven a kart, so that makes it really tough. Like, I have no reference point for what karts are supposed to drive like. WS12 is nuts. It's a good car. Yeah, 79 is correct. Okay. 79 is fun after you get heat in the tires. So is the point of the 79 to go slow on cold tires, or just that you have to build it up like any car? Like, is it undrivable on cold tires, or is it just, not as fun and not as safe as a normally car would be? There we go. All right, Mercedes W13. Let's go to Spa, since that's a very notable track that everybody knows and loves. The Lotus is a lot of fun and will improve your skills in other cars. Yeah. Yeah, you do have a lot to teach me. There's a reason I'm so garbage, especially in open wheel stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't have any skill. My first Papyrus sim was Indy 500, but that was what, 1989? Papyrus Indy 500 was 1989, I think. Why do I know stuff like that? I hate that, like, I have a weird memory and just remember weird stuff like that, even though I wasn't around for it. Cold tires is harsh, like really 5 seconds slower on a short track. Huh, interesting, because I just watched Will's video at Spa of when that series was there, and I don't remember what his queue time was, and I didn't watch it that closely to know what I was talking about, but gonna not rant about Spa. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Spa. I think they improved it by making the off tracks less prevalent and putting dirt up and rescanning it. I've never been a huge fan of Spa, especially since everybody seems to love Spa. I don't really know why. I'd much rather drive everything at Road America, but that wouldn't be very exciting, so we're not going to do that. So we'll just drive it here at Spa. Again, I have no idea about any setups or anything. Oh, geez, we have all sorts of stuff. Holy crap. Spa, IGPT. I don't know what that means, so we're just going to stick with the normal one. We will go soft tires, though, because why not? I don't know anything about any of this stuff. I don't think I have any boost juice in this car, do I? I'll move this back to auto, anti-stall, auto clutch, whatever. I'm trying to think. I need the hide obstructions all perfect. I don't know what my DRS button is, so that's going to make this tough. We'll just do that. Should be fine. I have a tear off button, so that's good. Are they updating the servers? I don't think the servers got the update. I know they were down for a short period of time. It was down for like half an hour or maybe 45 minutes, and it came up, and when I fired up iRacing, there was no update needed, Arthur. So I don't think anything's wrong with it. I don't think anything needed to be changed. I'm not sure if it was just a back-end issue with race results processing, but it seems like they got that all figured out, so that's good. But we have demo drive for like 24 hours from downtime starting. So you got, I don't know, 19 hours left of demo drive if you want to go test out some content. You can drive any car that you have download currently, and I think you can drive any track you own is how it works. I don't remember exactly, but I fixed a bug with registration. Okay, so there you go. But it's good now. It was not something that needed an update or a download or anything like that. If they start from grid, then they could start with hot tires, but qualifying and practice starting cold tires. Oh, okay, so they have like simulated tire heating. That's good. Takes about 1.5 laps at Spa to heat up. Very interesting. Oh yeah, Casey, you did say that you were the one that submitted the bug, so it's your fault that everybody got kicked out of NIS and the Wheeling Tour, whatever the long, super late model wheel modified tour is. All right, before we all get a cheap laugh at this, I've never driven this car. I'm not good at open wheel cars. I'm not good at fast, high-speed cornering cars, whatever. I probably shouldn't sit here because the tires are going to cool off while we're sitting here. I have no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. But we're going to give it a whirl. Hopefully it's fun. I kind of know what to expect, but I'm probably still going to make a fool of myself. These are ground effect cars, so you definitely want to stay off of high curves and sausage curves. I assume Eau Rouge and Radion is flat. Get the DRS open. Just about 200 miles an hour, not quite. I don't know how the fast guys drive this. My brain does not work fast enough for this. It really doesn't. Which is unfortunate because it is a fun thing to mess around with. I love messing around with the W12. That thing just has unlimited grip. This does not, of course. But it's still quite fun. I'm sure it's just a lift and a downshift and turn in, and you can get through Puan flat from there, which we did. This place only has 2 DRS zones, if I remember correctly, the front stretch and then the Camel Straight. I remember Mercedes was famous for, in their battles with Ferrari, 5 to 10 years ago, whenever that was, they were famous for here being really good through Sector 2, where the Ferraris would just trim out and be monster in the first and third sectors, and they'd end up with like the same lap times. It was crazy how the different things worked like that. And Mercedes usually out-qualified the Ferraris, but then oftentimes Vettel would win here just because they had the straight line advantage. It's so difficult to pass in that scenario. But Lewis Hamilton, oh geez, also had a win stolen from him here the year that he, quote, cut the chicane, which he didn't cut. Whatever. They were trying to keep Massa in it, and trying to help Kimi win again, but he did not. All right, that was a sloppy chicane, obviously. Might not even need first gear through there. That's pretty difficult as is. Not a whole lot of time to read chat, so I apologize about that. I will get to it next time we die or spin out or change cars or whatever. I should really drive the W12 here after this, just as a direct comparison, just for a little while. Maybe that's what we'll do. A little bit too much there. I think that the W12 could probably take that nearly flat. I don't know, like there's so much grip. Again, this isn't the kind of thing that appeals to me, both because I'm bad at it. Ooh, almost died. Don't know how we didn't die actually. It's not that fun because there's so much grip. I understand people that like this kind of thing and are on the edge of control and can think this fast. I understand why they would love it. It makes perfect sense. So. We'll do one more lap here, see if I can get through the chicane without killing myself a couple times here. Even second for La Source, just to make sure I don't die, hopefully. Oh, almost died anyways. Alright, into Rouge, Radion flat. Didn't die up Radion, which is good. The DRS here. Yeah, tear off for no reason because I can't stand having any visual obstructions at all. It feels really sensitive, and that, I don't know, maybe it's just me and being bad, of course, but it feels like you're very on edge. Again, could be the ground effects thing. Doesn't seem to handle that well through slow corners. I think that's realistic, but again, could also just be the set and me being terrible. I'm sure I'm vastly underdriving the performance of the car, do not get me wrong. As a kid, I wondered why they didn't have DRS down here on the way to Blanchimont, but now I understand why, because everybody would die through Blanchimont corner if they had the rear wing open, similar to Jack Doohan at Suzuka, funnily enough. All right, let's get through here cleanly, or at least in one piece, which we managed to do. Not the prettiest thing ever. To the line, survey says. Actually, it was slower. That's a little bit embarrassing. Maybe it's the amount of boost juice I had left, but that's all right. You're so proud of yourself, yeah. They added simulated outlast for standing starts like 4 months ago. I do remember that. I just didn't remember if it was for all series with standing starts or only cars that use tire warming in real life or what that was. 151 was my time. We'll go see what I can do in the W12 real quickly. It's going to kick me out though. Yep, all right. Let's see. So 151 is time to beat for me with no skill. I am late, but I brought the whiskey. Thanks, Chad. Can you believe the FIA was like, yeah, let's maybe remove this track from next year's schedule? Yeah, like there are so many tracks they could have gotten rid of, and this is the one they picked, and I don't know. I'm not a huge Spa fan by any means, but I can't believe that this was the track they picked to get rid of because it is such an iconic track, and if nothing else, that's their logic for keeping Monaco on every year, so I don't know why they changed that up. I don't know if you've driven Myron GPs much recently, but 79s are like that with the tires. Oh, okay. Like I haven't driven them a lot recently since the tire update, but I did test them quite a bit right when it first came out, and I do know what you're talking about. So that makes sense. Obviously, the GTPs are like turned up to 11 as far as how bad cold tires are and how slow you and careful you have to be, but that makes sense in my head. So money, then why did we keep going to Monaco? Like I know it's all about money, but that's a parade, and that can't be good for. You're saying like the amount of money that they paid and want to be there, because like that's not fun. It's not a good race. As a matter of fact, it's a terrible race. Control. DRS button. Let's go find a set that isn't baseline. Spa. I don't know what up means. We'll go back to soft tires again, of course. Will just give me, again, 2 laps to try to find something good. Again, no idea what I'm doing as far as managing of battery and such, but it's fine. Of course, car sounds almost identical, same power plant. I fully expect to beat that one, whatever I did, 151. Ooh, a little squirrely there. Almost died. We're good. It's fine. Get the slow down bled off. There we go. This is a little bit more understeer than the other car, but I assume it's going to be much faster, especially once we get some tire heat. Of course, I think the fast guys around here will probably be like 142, and I'm going to be 152, basically. I can't say enough how much this is not my thing. It's fine. I could cheat and put in Q trim, Q mode for the boost juice, but I'm just going to leave it in balanced. I don't know what the W13 was in, but we'll just leave this in balance. There's so much grip once you get the nose to cut. Like on throttle, it just hooks. I have not driven this car in a very, very long time. Oh, almost died there again. Wonder why we're so twitchy through Radeon. If it's because we're running like no wing because it's Spa, or why that is. But all right, we'll give myself 2 laps here to try to do something right. Don't die, don't high center it, it's fine. Basically why I have to stick to sports cars is this, because this is not my thing. Open wheel Formula cars of any variety. Oop, almost died again, but we lived, thankfully. There's quite a lot of battery performance down the straight there, seemingly. Don't die, please. Thank you, Justin. Bring us back like hyper softs and ultra softs and all the freaking rainbow color patterns. That was the best time. Because that was what, like 2016, 2017, and we had 8 different tire compounds, and we had to remember what all the colors meant. Bring that back. This felt like an okay lap. Quite easily beat the lap that we ran by 3 seconds there. We're going to beat the W13. We'll do one more. Just for science. Even though I don't think we have quite enough battery to go full attack again. I have no idea. No matter. Pretty fun car to drive. Yeah, it wants to kill you, but it also could just be because the front cut's so fast. Yeah, we're out of boost juice. We're stuck at 188 battery power. Go burr. Please turn. Thank you. It just grips. That's insane. Me not even knowing what I'm doing. Just click a downshift, turn in, it'll stick. It's fine. What could go wrong? No idea what this lap is going to look like. Maybe a little bit slower just because of the boost juice. Maybe faster because I'm theoretically better, but probably not. Way too conservative there under braking, but it's fine. Through the chicane. It's going to be slightly slower, about a half second slower, basically the same pace. Not too bad. I would happily never want another Monaco GP. Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, Monaco qualifying is one of the highlights of the entire year. Like, having to push that close to the wall, like, in my opinion, arguably, that's what Formula One should be like all the time. It should just be maximum, like, potential death. Like, you should have to be willing to make the mistake and crash like Leclerc usually is around there to be fast, and that's what racing's all about. And yes, the cars are too big, but it's, you know, it's not just that. It's that most of the tracks, and I know it gets blamed on Tilke tracks a lot, but it's most tracks, regardless of who designs them or builds them or whatever, or where they're located, whether it be permanent courses, street circuits, whatever. So I'd probably put a giant budget. And yeah, I know that F1 is Monaco and Monaco is F1. I understand that, but it's like, you know, the car is so wild and it's so not suited for that anymore that you just want it to be gone. Let's drive a 410 non-wing sprint car at, let's try Eldora, I guess. But Carl, again, recommended this one. He wanted to see me struggle so he can laugh at me. So we'll give this a whirl. Having had potential death from racing, disagree. Not literal. I shouldn't say that. I mean, not potential death. Like, it should be punishing to get it wrong. Like, that's the problem with all the runoff. 3 weeks after a crash, we'll do that. Yeah, I understand it, but like, you should be punished for making a mistake. That's what racing is about: is who can be on that line. Like we saw Lando last weekend in Q3, made a mistake, overstepped the line, crashed his car, and it probably, well, it certainly cost him a podium, probably cost him a win potentially again. But yeah, like, racing is supposed to be difficult. You're supposed to be punished for a mistake, and I hate all these tracks now that have endless runoff and everything is just, you know, go where you want and it's fine, it'll be good, you'll live, whatever. Like, you should be punished for stuff being hard. All right, so I'm sure this is going to be an absolute joke as a non-dirt racer, as someone that is just really bad at pretty much everything, this is going to be a great lap. F1 has gotten to the point where a 33G crash is non-lethal. Yeah. Yeah, we should have gravel traps like outside, like on the curbs. Curbs should no longer be things. We should have gravel traps on the curbs. That's my proposal. Oh, this car only has first gear in reverse. I was expecting a neutral so I could listen to it, but that's all right. All right, this is going to be absolutely hilarious, and I'm going to make a fool of myself, so don't laugh too hard, please. I'm probably going to flip a lot and die. I'm not good at the normal 410 sprint car. This is just going to be utterly insane, I'm sure. No idea how to drive it. Obviously, there's no downforce. Oh my god. What the hell is this? Yikes. Okay. It is quite difficult, funnily enough. Quite difficult, in fact. Oh, don't hit the wall and die. Oh, we're dead. Okay. It's fine. Everything's great. You're about to say the cars are don't say it. You know, I don't think the cars are too safe. I definitely don't think they're too safe. You can never have cars that are too safe. I don't think anybody ever wants to see people get hurt, and if you do, you're a sick and terrible person. I see all the time people, like, this is pre-Richard Childress, for example, but they were, like, wishing death upon Kyle Busch, or, like, injury, and, like, we're glad when he broke his leg type of thing at Daytona, and I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like, I don't agree with anybody that thinks make the cars super safe so the tracks can be monsters. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, though, right? Like, you should never have to worry, and I get it's a part of racing. You should never have to worry about being hurt in a race car, especially in a touring series or a big series. Like, that should not be a thing. Injuries just mean that the cars aren't safe enough or there's a weak point. The weak point of a car and safety should not be the driver. At no point should the driver pay for a weak point of safety. I mean, we're very fortunate that most severe accidents in racing these days, especially in top series, are broken bones at worst, you know, or severe concussions, or getting the yips, or, you know, stuff that's not going to cost you your life and your future. I mean, all these guys usually have families, they have futures to live, they're young, they have families to grow up with and grandkids to talk about and tell their stories someday. Like, nobody should ever have to worry about dying in a race car. Like, that's the wrong standard, but I would like if it was more difficult to be good, if that makes sense. All right, let's try this again now that I am semi-aware of what I have to do to not make a complete fool out of myself. But that is not the way. I think we just touched the wall there, but we're still good. No idea how people drive this. Fully understand. Oh, shit. We didn't roll. We're good. I fully understand why these don't go official very often, because this is bonkers. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I've gone too far now. I'm down to the point of trying to create rotation and corner speed by staying on throttle into the corner, and that's not working, obviously, so I gotta get turned back to the right more quickly. No idea what the track state is, but it's something too difficult for me, but that's probably all track states from 0 to 100, so it is quite difficult. Oh shit, like, it's so hard, because as a non-dirt person, I A, don't know what I'm doing, and B, I'm just bad. But surely I can make like 2 laps in a row without dying, right? Like 2 clean laps. I don't know if I'm driving this correctly or not, probably not, but so much off throttle time compared to a 410 sprint with a wing. So difficult. It was my fastest lap. That felt like a semi-decent lap. Right up against the fence there in 1 and 2. Well, I'm thinking of if you have any other difficult cars you want me to give a whirl to, or tracks as well, but cars specifically, let me know now. I'm down to the last 2 on my list, so after I get bored of doing this, I will go drive those two. But if you have anything else you want me to drive here, difficult cars you think are crazy, whatever, let me know. Put them down in chat, and we'll give it a wheel. Looks at my F2000. There's something spectacular about a track like Monaco or Long Beach or even Indy 500. Agree. I'm going to my first Indy 500 in May. I've never been. I was there several years ago, about 10 years ago or so, and happened to be driving through Indianapolis on my way home from Washington, D.C., and got to see Xfinity practice was there that day. So I walked around the paddock for a little bit and watched some NASCAR Xfinity cars practice, but I've never been to an IndyCar race other than that Gateway, which was kind of terrible. So, you know, I need Gavin Ropchan to give me some lessons. He could give me 50 hours of lessons and I would still be terrible. I have no skill. Bell being fought with Mother Nature. Supercars at Bathurst. Sure, we can do supercars at Bathurst. I like the supercar. I don't think I've driven the new supercar at Bathurst yet, actually. Love me some good old Mount Panorama, so we'll do that a whirl here. I'll do one more run of this, and then we'll go do Mount Panorama in the Camaro, which I guess technically I don't need to test drive to do, but we'll do it anyways for the sake of time. Ooh, that's not a good one. Are we okay or are we broken? Well, now we are. Oh, okay, it's fine. Oh, jeez. Alright, wheel damage will kill you. Planning to go there 2026 with my iRacing buddies. See, I went to, I've been to Eldora twice with my iRacing buddies. One of our teammates lived in Dayton, Ohio. And so we went to the Eldora truck race in 2018 with about 7 of us that were an iRacing group, and then the kind of core group from that. This was a 410 wheel. I don't want to hear about how I suck. We know I suck. And then we went in 2023 to the SRX race there, and that was actually a lot of fun. So very, very good close friends, guys I've been teammates with forever. Never get sick of hanging out with those guys, and especially going to see a race. So we want to Mount Panorama. I went right past it because I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm looking for. Mount Panorama. All right. Now this, unlike most of the stuff I've driven here today, I actually have some seat time in, so we'll see if Mount Panorama is not so embarrassing that I just embarrass myself to no end. Aw, Bryce is working, boo. Too tired to race, just watching Justin sipping on some bourbon. Chad, we need to get some bourbon in here. I don't drink very heavily at all, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I guess depends what you want to say. What little I saw, you did good. You made it look tame like a 360. I was probably 0.6 off pace though, Will. That's the key. Around the 15-second track. I wish I could see them more, but I'm Dutch and they are American. Plane ticket alone would cost me around 900. Gosh, yikes, that's crazy. Yeah, I highly recommend though. Obviously I'm not familiar with excuse me, I am just tripping on words. I'm not familiar with the Netherlands and what kind of racing you have there. But if you have buddies that are all European, for example, I assume that they're American since you're all going to the Indy 500, but maybe not. Find a local race or semi-local, or go to the Dutch Grand Prix, or whatever you can find that's not expensive. Because I found that after taking several of these trips, let's see, I've been to that Gateway IndyCar race in 2020 or 2021 with Vic, and I've been to Eldora twice with the SWA guys and the JKR guys. We're going to the Daytona 500 next year. As a JKR trip, I gotta get onto playing that. But I find that the track and the race is almost secondary. Like, yes, it's important. Yes, it's fun. Yes, we're all there because we're race fans. But it's really about the camaraderie with the friends and all that stuff. So that's definitely the key and much more important, in my opinion. Do I have a Bathurst set? No, I do not have a Mount Panorama set. We'll just run the base set. Doesn't really matter that much. Is it called Bathurst? Yes, it is. Kind of drives me nuts when they do that, considering it's Mount Panorama. Why do they call it Bathurst? All right, here we go. We'll see how this goes. I do have some familiarity with this car, so hopefully it's not too bad. Again, if you have any other car suggestions to try out or track suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, after this, I will go to the last 2 things I have on my list, and then we'll call it a night since we're about an hour and a half in. Again, I appreciate you all so much for being here, stopping by. I hope this has been enjoyable. Hope you're having fun. Thank you all so much for your love and support. I love getting to chat with the comments with you guys, so thank you so much for that. If you would be so kind and you wanted to drop a sub down below and drop a like on this stream, I would really appreciate that. As I drive off into the fence there, turn 2. I would really appreciate it if you wanted to drop a sub. I still do post iRacing content just about every weekday and have some other stuff going on, other fun classic racing games on the weekends. Porsche Experience Center. I've never driven at either of those tracks. Do you have car suggestions for either of those? I guess the Porsche Experience Center at Hockenheim is, I assume, going to need something really small. Maybe we'll take a Porsche there of some sort. I've never driven Heldo either. Alright, we gotta make a couple laps around Mount Panorama first, though. Cold tires obviously very, very deadly in the supercar. Probably needed second gear through there. I didn't realize we were going to be that bogged down. Please stop and turn. It's been quite a while since I've driven a supercar, since the series is unfortunately pretty dead now. Feels like this gearing is just awful. We'll see what it's like on the backstretch, but it feels like the gearing is just terrible. Very glad these aren't fixed anymore, because that was just the dark ages. A little bit wide at the elbow. Use the apron just to make me feel better about my awful turn-in. Yeah, the setup is not very good. It's not terrible, but it's not that good. So, whatever. We'll do one more lap and then we'll go try out the Porsche Experience Center. I love this car. I need to get back and race this some more. I haven't made it a priority this season with other stuff that's been going on, but I need to try to get at least one or two of these in a season, because I really enjoyed it last season when it came out and we drove a couple of these, so I need to try to get a couple more in. A couple of seasons would be good. This gearing is just crazy. It feels like it's so long. I mean, we're just getting to 5th gear at the Petters Bridge. Yeah, this gearing is just, it's not great. It's my own fault for driving the fix it though, instead of just going and putting something together for this, but that's alright. This set just isn't it. That's alright though, no worries. It's all for fun. Not sure if that's a weird graphical thing with the track there, why it looked like that or what. Gearing is quite strange, it's understeery. Pretty typical fixed set, just awful. A little bit too conservative, a little bit too soft. Built by someone that said, yep, it goes around the track, doesn't kill you, and it passes tech, so it's good enough. Yeah, 2:13 or 2:12 is an awful lap time. I mean, even with my awful skills, I can usually get around here in 2:08 or 2:09 on an actual set, so. Alright, let's see what's up next. Porsche Experience there in the GT4, we can do that. I just gotta go find it. Porsche Cayman GT4. I've actually never driven this car before. Hockenheim. I don't know which Porsche Experience Center do I want, Casey? Oh, there are a lot of houses you can rent in Indianapolis. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just going for Saturday, Sunday, Monday this year. We'll see. I will drive the VW Light though. Yeah, Porsche Unleashed series is great. I didn't even think about that. Good tie-in. Thanks, Chad. Handling. Okay. Tried the old V8 cars back in 2011, 2012. The old one, the Falcon, was terrible. Yeah, the ice tires were bad, but like that car just, it felt loopy. It's not good. You are really good for just jumping in a car and driving it around. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm very fortunate to have been doing this for 12 years, and I have a ton of laps and a ton of cars and a ton of good racing, and I really enjoy doing this. Again, thankfully, I have a lot of seat time in the supercar over the years, but you're going to see here how terrible I am in GT4. So we'll see how it goes. But I do appreciate the comment. Thank you very much for that. All right, I don't know where this track goes at all, so I don't know. I assume it's in the like infield of Hockenheim, and I don't know why it was scanned because surely no official series would ever come here, right? Like surely. I'm gonna embarrass myself with not knowing where I'm going and not knowing the car and blah blah blah. I think I've driven this car once. Oh, this is like, oh, I know what you're talking about. This is like the thing similar to what they have in like LA and Atlanta when you buy a new Porsche or wherever you come here. I don't know. Is there no high downforce? Whatever, we'll just go open, I guess, whatever. Why is there not a TT series? Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know why there's no high downforce. I don't know where I'm going either, so. All right, let's see if I can figure this out. Be very cautious here to start since I'm going to get lost. Oh my God, that is quite, oh, is it a mini carousel? Is that what this is? A faux carousel? That's quite cool. It's a very tight corner there. I see you can turn in there and have a shorter version of the course. No idea where to brake for this because I don't know what kind of corners coming up, so I should really slow down. And again, it's fine. You saw nothing. What is this? A skid pad? What the fuck is this? Where are we going? What is this? Okay, whatever. You saw nothing. It's fine. Where do we go next? I see cones. Doesn't tell me what we're doing. Oh my God, that's a very tight corner apparently. Okay, now where are we? This is so confusing. No, yikes, okay. I'm glad that we're not running PCC here ever. I know it was brought up and some member of staff said absolutely not. I'm glad because this would be an absolute disaster and it would make my current least favorite PCC track ever, which is VIR Grand, it would make that look like Shanghai or like Road America compared to whatever this hell is. But this is kind of a cool track actually. I get why this would be very popular to show up and test a car. Just jump in the carousel just like I would on the Nürburgring. The Nürburgring isn't quite that bad of a transition, I'll have that be pointed out. That is quite the drop there. Yeah, I know I shortcut the course. I jumped into the freaking carousel and nearly died. It's a long track, or at least there's a lot of corners. It's not probably a very long track lengthwise, but there's a lot going on for sure. Interesting track though. This would probably be really good to take someone to the test and have them learn some car control, a lot of different corner profiles and such. Need to slow down more for that. That wasn't awful actually though. Forgot that that's a hairpin. Please turn, car. Thank you very much. Oh, nope, overdid it. All right, we're good. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Yeah, this would be terrible. PCC here would be like Cadwell Park, but like, worse. Cadwell Park was pretty awful, and I didn't even race that. I guess technically we made a lap there, minute and a half. Let's see if I can get through the carousel. We'll do one more lap here. Try not to die. What is that drop, man? At least into the carousel at the Nürburgring, you have like a gradual drop off, and it's a straight entry point. This does not have either of those things. You're driving off a cliff, and it happens immediately. Oh, forgot about this bit. All right, let's not die. Interesting track, though. I'm intrigued. I do own Hockenheim, so I would be able to drive here again. So maybe I should do this for a stream. Drive various cars around this place because this place is bonkers. There's a lot going on around here. Don't drive off track, please, Justin. The gearing for this is not quite right for this. It is all top of second gear for this, which is fine, whatever. But I guess that's not a corner you really have to brake for, but that's not too bad actually. That was quite fun. Good suggestion, Casey. All right, let's go load up Hell. Center Sims there. I was throwing 21s around here yesterday, 121. So I was only 5 seconds off. What's the worst that could happen? Try and run Legends here. That sounds crazy. All right, let's go find the Beetle Light. And then we'll go to Hell, which is called something else though, right? Something with an L, something or another. Or is it Hell? Does it start with an H? So I think I can't drive it because I don't own it. I think that I forgot about that part of it. You can only test drive tracks you own. So no Hell, unfortunately. We don't like Hell anyways, but I don't understand why they made Cadwell paid track either, honestly. I mean, that just seems like such an oversight. Yeah, PCC was at Cadwell. Was it this season or last season? Hardest cars and hardest tracks, Pico. It was a suggestion. I've only got a couple of ideas left, but PCC was at Cadwell. I can't remember if it was last season. I think it was with the GT4, which is insane. But you know, it is what it is. They told us to. I don't have Hell. Sorry. PCC that I said I have no. All right, let's go to the two that I have left, and then if you have any more suggestions, we will do those afterwards. So Silver Crown, I want to try those at Dover, and the reason I want to take them to Dover is like 10 or 15 years ago when I first learned about iRacing. The first iRacing person I watched, like a lot of people, last season, so it was with the GT4. One of the first people I watched was Empty Box, and he did a race here in the Silver Crowns at Dover, and it was crazy. COT at Le Mans. That sounds utterly insane. Like, it sounds awesome and cool, and I would love to see it. It sounds insane. I did watch Empty Box do a race here in the Silver Crown long ago, and it looked like a crazy car, crazy fun. Never bought it, never test driven it. I've never driven this car, so again, apologies for whatever this is. Oh yeah, hopefully it'd be Le Mans Historic. I mean, if it was Le Mans, you know, the normal one with the two chicanes, that would be just awful. I record a lap and send it to you to show. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right, let's see what the Silver Crown's like. Apparently there's a Dover set. The thing that I remember about this car is that it has a ridiculous fuel tank because it burns a shit ton of fuel. Yeah, 75-gallon fuel tank is nuts, but we're just going to go with whatever Dover has, 50. All right, let's see how this goes. Of course, one gear in this car as well, which makes it nice and easy. I have not been here, I think, since they re-arted. I don't think it was a rescan. I think it was just new art here at Dover. So I'm sure this is going to be insane. It's quite fast, of course. This is that weird Silver Crown they used for like 2 years in the mid-2000s. It has some weird handling. It's got the old tire model. I know this is a semi-popular car in SOF times. Doesn't seem too crazy. Maybe it's just because we're at this type of track. I know that at bigger mile and a halfs like Kansas, Vegas, whatever, pretty much flat, pretty much a draft race. I figured here might be a little bit different, but not sure what the tire wear is like. See there, 50 gallons of fuel is 150 laps, but we are bleeding through it at a rapid pace. Understandable. This is interesting. I honestly, maybe I'm speaking too soon, running 2 laps. I expected this to be more difficult than it is. It's probably really difficult at like short tracks, obviously, but like even a track this long isn't too bad. I can see why bigger tracks like you know, in Indianapolis or a 1.5 miles or something, or a 2 mile especially, like Auto Club in Michigan would be insane in this. Michigan more specifically with the banking and the new pavement, but this isn't too bad. It's just, you know, you gotta be very precise. I'm sure open sets are a big factor. So yeah, I mean that empty box league race was my only experience seeing this car. That was my fastest lap. Thank you very much. Alright, last round of suggestions. If you got anything, let me know, because otherwise we're going to hop into my last car that I got planned out here for the day. So any last suggestions, let me know, and we'll do that next. Like, this is interesting to me. Like, it's not easy by any means, but it feels like you pretty much just, as soon as you get the nose set, you're back to full throttle. Again, this is the fixed set. I'm sure that has part to do with it. I'm sure we're slow, but it's not complicated. It's not difficult. It's not like insane. It's very crazy and fast because of what it is. But it's not like bonkers difficult or insane or anything like that. So whatever. Last chance. Any suggestions for cars and tracks? Nothing. All right, we'll go on to the last thing then, and that is the sprint car, so that you can all have a crazy laugh at me. Again, another suggestion of Mr. Sampson. Let's do the old sprint car, the asphalt sprint car, with its 50-year-old tire model and everything else that's weird about it, and we'll go to Legacy. Yeah, see, there you go, not up to date. So there's a lot of cars here that, tracks, excuse me, that I can't drive. Let's go to Legacy Phoenix. Oh, shit, whoops. Legacy Phoenix, so that just sounds like a ton of fun. I'm sure this is going to be utterly insane. This is another thing that Iowa Road. I like Iowa Road. Should we take the Daytona prototype, the old GP there, to Iowa Road, since that's what they ran in real life? We'll take the old DP there after this, but we'll do this first. All right, we'll try this, and then we'll do Iowa Road, and then we'll call it an evening since I've taken 2 hours of your time. So thankful again for all you. I appreciate you all so much. It's wonderful to see so many people active in chat. I really appreciate it. I'd like to do some more streams. I've had a really good time doing these last couple weeks. So, recording hell right now. See, I'm always in recording hell. Oh, no, I'm kidding. I know what you mean. All right. Let's see if I make a fool of myself. I already know the answer, but I'm sure you're going to want to see this and laugh at me. Very scared. Oh, it dries very strangely. Oh, this is very difficult, I'm sure, to go fast. I am not going fast even a little bit. I remember back in the day watching Vinnie Sanson and PJ Sturgis and Jake Sturgis and all those guys, and Matt Orr, obviously, Empty Box, running these. I guess they did like official races, but it was like a league night. That was back, again, 15 years ago when I first started. Roughly, you know, I started 12 years ago, but 15 years ago when there were, you know, a third as many people or less on iRacing as there were now. So it was basically a glorified league race. You know, just like 2 spots a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. That went official. Let's not die, Justin. I don't know what I'm doing in the slightest. I'm sure I'm 4 seconds off pace, but I really just want to live and make it so that Carl can laugh at me. Probably need to use a little bit more brake just to make sure the thing will swing around. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, alright, we got the full throttle. Got the full throttle, didn't die. Almost died, but didn't die. It was close. We're A-okay. Oh my lord. All right. Ah! We're good. Okay, nothing to see here. It's fine. This is nuts. Like, again, fixed set for what it's worth, so it's probably terrible, but how and why do people drive this? Like, this is crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. How does anybody race this thing? Like, how do you survive with any kind of pace for whatever 60, 70 laps, however long these races are? If I could get off turn 2, that would be a start. I'm just spinning the rear wheels. It drives so strangely. And again, why is this a thing? Like, why? Why is this a thing? Who was like psychotic enough and deserves to be in a mental hospital for suggesting they do this? Also, what came first, the dirt sprint or the asphalt sprint? I would assume the dirt sprint came first because dirt racing came first around most tracks for ovals back in the day, like way back in the day. I assume that the dirt car came first, but who was then psychopathic enough to say, hey, if we put massive ass slicks on that and take the wing off, they could go to asphalt tracks that are a mile long, like Phoenix for the, what is this, the Copper State Classic this was? And that sounds like a fun thing to do and sounds safe. Like, why? Why is this a thing? What part of this sounds fun and safe? Oh my gosh. This is nuts. I haven't really sweated this whole time. Like, I feel like I've been pretty in control in everything we've driven, in spite of some of it being difficult and some of it being crazy. Like, we're an hour and a half or whatever in this, and I feel like I haven't broken a sweat yet, but just in 6 laps here. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Did I lose a wheel? Can this car even lose wheels? There it goes. Aren't these the cars with the jank tire model? Yeah, these are the cars that have the tire model that's literally not been changed since, like, I joined the sim in 2013. Like, it's that crazy. Yeah, the scream was pretty on par. Left front came off. The chicken came first. All right, I'm gonna try to go really fast. It's probably gonna kill me, but I'm gonna try like a mock Q run of sorts. See if I can just go as fast as I possibly can around here. Again, keeping in mind this is a fixed set, it's probably awful, but we'll go to one more shot here, and then we'll go do Iowa in the DP since I actually know that track, and the car is okay. All right, here we go. Q trim. I'm gonna hold my breath for this, and try not to scream. I wonder if this fix set is just terrible and broken because it doesn't do anything and it runs out of gear. Like, I wonder if it's really outdated and just doesn't work. Technically, I made it, and technically by 0.02 of a second, I beat my previous lap. So we're gonna take it. That is absolutely bonkers. Like, that was fun. That was actually fun. It was crazy, but it was fun. All right, one more. We'll go do Iowa in the Riley DP. For Casey's benefit, if I can find it, Riley DP, Iowa Road. Every time I like see this or do this, like, I think this is a good track. I cannot believe they actually came here and did this. Like, I can't believe that someone said, "Oh yeah, let's have Grand Am at like 1.2 mile infield road course." And the curbs here are bonkers. Like, the curbs make no sense because they're not like real curbs. It's really crazy, but whatever. All right, let's see. Let's see how this goes. I assume it's just going to be like high downforce, low downforce. Don't know what the setup options are, but we'll see. Da 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 da. Loading quite slowly. You'll see when we get to the infield on the backstretch. The curbs, I don't know if this is realistic or not, and they might have updated actually now that I think about it, but all these curbs on the infield are flat. Like, there should be real curbs here on every part of the like backstretch stuff, but it's not going to be. They're all flat. You can drive right over them, and they do give you a slowdown, but they're not curbed. So pee pee poo poo. Thanks, E. Very nice of you to stop by, you sweet thing. All right, let's see. I'll show you what I mean here, though, when we get to the infield section on the backstretch. FTSS, my league, came here once in the truck. That was quite fun. So these curbs here. This curb is perfectly two-dimensional. It looks like they made a little bit of a lip, but when I first drove here, or last drove here I should say, they were perfectly flat. They were almost just basically graphics. I think this is a great track, and PCC here would probably be awesome, but people would riot if we came to another Roval, so it'll never get voted in. A little bit understeer there, even on high downforce. The gearing's terrible. This car's a dinosaur. It looks like a turtle, but it's all good. I have not driven this car in a very long time, but I do have a soft spot for it. I never got to race it in officials because when I bought it, they retired it immediately and replaced it with the C7 DP, which became one of my favorite cars of all time on iRacing. The C7 DP is amazing. That's actually a smoother transition than I think it is. I can probably carry more throttle on there. The braking zone is a little bit deeper than I think it is, but I need to commit and brake hard so I can actually get stopped. This car has very peculiar handling. There we go, that was a little better. Yeah, the curves are just paint. Yeah, 4 AM does close early. So close to forcing it in. What are you talking about, Casey? Crazy they ran as an official. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Oval bits are for letting faster cars by. I agree with that. I'm excited to see how Auto Club does. I think that's a wonderful track. I'm a huge fan of it. I don't even own Auto Club on the alt, so I won't be participating, unfortunately. But I think Auto Club Roval is a great track. I'm excited to see it's in PCC and made the vote. Hopefully it's well received and people enjoy it. I'm not sure how it's going to go as far as participation based on how Canadian Tire has gone this week, and I assume Mid-Ohio and Homestead will go. But nonetheless, cool that it got on the schedule, and I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a great week. So we'll do 2 more laps here, and then we'll call it. Again, I appreciate y'all so much. This has been so much fun to do this for a couple hours. I think that this is such a cool thing that iRacing does now with Demo Drive, formerly Test Drive, to allow you to go do weird stuff and have fun with weird stuff that you wouldn't normally get to do because you're not going to buy it because you don't care, whatever, stuff like this. So good on iRacing for making this an option and allowing us to have some fun doing this. So thanks to them. Again, I appreciate you all so much for being here, getting to interact with chat. It's been awesome. I'm so thankful for all of you. Again, if you're feeling so kind, drop a like on this stream. Go sub to my channel down below. It's been a great couple weeks for subs and for content, so I'm so thankful for that. I have plenty of great iRacing stuff coming out the next couple days and couple weeks, of course. I have some bigger plans. We're getting towards summer, so we're going to have more track day content with Bluey, my Camaro. Very excited for that in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I mean, summer racing season's back in full swing. Maybe I'll get to see Casey at Road America in a couple of weeks and do some filming with them, do a POV and say, hey, this is Casey, former CM, and then we'll have like an exchanging of the keys to the new CM. But regardless, this has been really cool, so I think I'll do 1 more lap after this because I do enjoy it and I haven't fully been trying to run fast, so let's try to go fast for once and then we'll call it a day. See if fast is even possible. 43.2, I've run a couple of them now. We're going to be brave, we're going to brake late for this, probably going to get us killed, but we'll try. Very tight corner. We made it, thankfully. little bit wide there, but we made it. That felt like a decent lap. Let's see what the lap timer says. 42.5, so we found 7/10. I'm pretty pleased with that. 420 subs. Yes, yes, I do. I'd love to see this track on the schedule. I think that a Roval season should be a requirement. I think that it makes for good racing. I think it's fine. You better sign my headlight, Casey. I never understood. I see this a lot on the Cadillac, the CTS-V, how we get damage from, like, is it rocks and marbles and stuff doing this visual paint damage? I never quite understood that, but whatever. Anyways, we will call that a day. That's plenty of streaming. You all are probably sick of me sitting here and just doing whatever. So, again, I appreciate you all so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you're located. Thanks so much for being a part of this. I missed that old Charlotte infield track that did not make the new version. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think it did make the new version, but they changed it slightly or redid part of it. I don't know exactly, but anyways, thank you all so much. I am so grateful for all you. Thanks to Casey. Let's see who else was in here. Davio, I hope POV I sent first. Okay, Chad, thank you so much. E, thanks for stopping by. Carl was here earlier. I'm just scrolling back through, trying to find everybody. It only lets me go back so far, but thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or evening wherever you are. And this was fun. I'll try to do something like this again soon.